I want to talk about anger management when you're not alone. One of the things I teach is that it's very important not to take your anger out on other people. But it's hard to do that sometimes because you deal with people. And when you're dealing with people, what do you do? What do you do if you can't take your anger out on them? And it isn't healthy for you just to suppress your feeling. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make your fuse longer. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is, think of a stick of dynamite. And the longer the fuse is, and it's lit is like it's an angry situation, the longer it will take before it blows up. So if your fuse is very short and I light it, you're in an angry situation that causes you anger, you may blow up at the person. Now if your fuse is very long, it'll start burning once you're in that situation. But what you can do is, because it's longer, you can remove yourself from the situation and not blow up at them, and then take out your anger at an inanimate object instead. So that's what appropriate anger management is like when you're with a person. But I also want to teach you some keys as far as, okay, in that situation, when something bad is happening to you and you want to lash out, what can you do instead? And the key to what you can do instead is learning how to respond instead of react. What we often do when we're in an angry, tense situation is we react. We want to pound back, hit back, and that's inappropriate. So if your fuse is longer, you can actually respond. And respond has a lot less damage, collateral damage afterwards. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is there's less healing to occur because you haven't hurt them and you're not lashing back out at them. You haven't created an eye for an eye, because an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Instead, you're going to respond appropriately, not lash back at them, and instead, later when the situation's over, then express your anger at an inanimate object. So what do you do at that time? What you can do at that time is what I call a variety of things. One of them is the hand squeezing technique. And that one is, which we'll be demonstrating here in a moment, is where when you're in a tense situation and the person is in your face, you just put your hands behind your back and you squeeze them. So watch here for a minute. Watch this demonstration with Elizabeth and Layla. And Layla is saying something that's hurting Elizabeth's feelings. It's making her angry. But instead of lashing back, perhaps she's her boss in this situation. Let's pretend Layla is the boss. And she's criticizing Elizabeth. And Elizabeth would like to lash back at her, but instead she's squeezing her hands behind her back. Layla can't even tell. So she's allowing that energy, that anger energy, to dissipate. Sure, it doesn't completely take it away, but making that burning fuse burn much more slowly, so she doesn't have to react back at her boss and perhaps lose her job. So what I'm trying to teach you here, and I think what you can really apply, is that when you're in a stressful situation that is making you want to react and lash back at them, instead learn these different techniques. Like the hand squeezing one is great, I love that one, so that when you are in that situation you can respond instead of react, and then there's a lot less collateral damage.